And we'll call the meeting to order. And I would say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we have a quorum. So about 2 alternates, your input is welcome, questions are welcome. But we won't be voting. All right, approval of minutes, September 25, 2023.
We're coming this season. We have worked it. That's just the minutes of September 25th as written.
Any second? Second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed, say nay. Old business, nothing on the land use ordinance, but we have development review ordinance, also affordable property, map 17, lot 9A, application MD 02-23. To develop 2 930 square foot, 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, single family homes to be offered as low moderate income rental units. We had a site review that Gail and Isabel went on with Dave and Rick. And everything checked out is what I understand on that.
It's all setbacks and that. And then some.
I'm sorry?
And then some.
And then some. Good. As long as they were met. That brings us to,
Well, I just have one question
Ask.
that's pertinent to our next one, but how is trash handled by the individual homeowners or by IAQ?
Individual homeowner and individual renters. in this
Renters.
case.
Okay, right. Renters. Okay, thank you.
help.
Yeah.
All right. Now unless somebody else has anything else, I believe we're at criteria of approval, yeah?
Mhm.
All right, 45-19.
We should do nothing to complete application.
Did we already do that? Where's our minutes?
No, we haven't.
Okay, the application would be complete, that wouldn't have anything to do with criteria of approval,
No.
just as long as the application is complete. Okay, so I make a motion that the application is complete.
Second,
So I have to say MD 0223.
I can fill that in.
Made and seconded, any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Any opposed, say nay.
Public hearing.
Oh, that was already done last time. That was already done last time.
Was that seconded by Isabel, this last motion?
I'm sorry?
You seconded it, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Criteria of approval, 45-19, criterion standards. A, and I'm counting on people that were at the, site review also, especially on some of these questions, but will not result in undue water, air pollution. Making this determination, the board must at least consider elevation of the land above sea level in relation to floodplains, nature of soils and subsoils, and their ability to adequately support waste disposal, the slope of the land and its effect on effluents. That's part of the rest of this too, isn't it? Has sufficient quantity of water available for reasonably foreseeable.
No, that's the second one.
That's the second one, okay,
Fairly high and dry.
So
It's good.
meet standards,
Meet
Yeah.
standards, septic systems. They have approved.
B, has sufficient quantity or quality of water available for reasonably foreseeable needs of the proposed subdivision or development meets standards, is that what we said?
Okay, yes, one well on site that was be shared by the two homes.
All right,
And Rick, would we be able to get the depth and flow of that well?
I
It
go,
should be inside the cap.
yeah, I can get it, sure. I had, well, actually Barry and I were over there at one time and we figured out how many, there was plenty of water in that well, and I talked to JT about it. And he said it was good to go too, but I can get you the numbers if that's what you want.
Sure.
Okay. Who do I send it to? Just the
I
planning
guess
board?
Dave,
Yeah.
Send it to me and I'll make sure they get it.
So,
what's that gonna tell us? It's gonna tell us how deep the well is and how many feet, how's
how
that
many
go?
gallons?
How many gallons per minute?
Yeah, you've researched it, it sounds like there's plenty, so
Oh, yeah.
I think it can meet standards, but
Okay,
that would be a good thing to have in there for the reason.
Mhm.
okay. C, will not cause unreasonable burden on existing water supply if one is to be utilized.
Not applicable.
Non-applicable or meet standards, one of the two, right?
Evidence shows that, well is sufficient for two homes
Okay.
at this time.
D, will not cause unreasonable soil erosion or reduction in the capacity of land to hold water so that a dangerous or unhealthy condition may result.
Nope.
Meet standard.
Yeah.
Okay. E, will not cause unreasonable public or private road congestion or unsafe conditions with respect to public or private roads existing or proposed, including parking at Greenville.
No.
I love that one.
Is located a private road.
Sure, and it's not gonna cause unreasonable congestion, so meet standard.
Could you give me
Yes.
the reason for
Say again,
D? I need a reason for D.
Yeah.
for D, that was something about, that was soil erosion. How is this? I mean,
Standard erosion control measures will be taken? Does that sound reasonable?
I'm not sure what standard erosion control measures are, but they will be taken.
basically what that, if there's any place where possible runoff or anything
Yeah, I
like
don't
that,
think
the
there is.
silt fence is basically all it is.
No, it's, the land isn't,
But I haven't seen the land. I
It's
wasn't
pretty
out
flat.
there.
yeah, the land's,
It's not
the
gonna go-
land's a little higher up above anything else around there.
But not very slow.
No.
Yeah,
it's
that's
not.
right.
Yeah, so it's probably not gonna be even required,
Yeah.
but that's generally what that means. It's-
Yeah, I mean, that lot's pretty flat. I mean,
Yeah.
it does slope up towards up to the town office area, but it's not steep at all.
Yeah,
No.
it's, a lot of it is just steep slopes
No, it's nothing
that
like
you have to
that.
put silt fence up for
No.
washing out stuff.
I doubt that from Reedy Road to all the way to the back of that lot, it probably doesn't raise 10 feet.
Right. So what do we have? We still need a reason, you said? Slope, the land doesn't require it, maybe?
Okay.
Lot conditions already meet standards.
Now, because I said that, it's gonna wash out.
You put, silt fences will be used if necessary.
Sure, okay.
Right.
That protects me, right?
Absolutely.
Just add to what it's. I'll put all of those reasons.
There you go.
What's that?
I'll put them all in, all of those.
Sure.
reasons.
Where am I?
D,
Yeah, F.
yeah,
F, will provide for adequate soil sewage waste disposal.
Solid and sewage.
Solid and sewage waste disposal. So that is, they've got a, design for a septic system.
Yeah,
And garbage will be handled by
individual.
individual renters.
There are 2 separate septic systems, one for each house.
Correct,
Okay.
correct.
Right.
So meet standard. G, will not cause unreasonable burden on the towns and the ability to dispose of solid waste and sewage if municipal services are to be utilized. Not applicable because they're not involving municipal services, correct?
Right.
Will not have undue at H, will not have undue adverse effect on the scenic or natural beauty of the area, aesthetics, historic sites, rare, irreplaceable natural areas, or any public rights for physical or visual access to shoreline. Excuse me.
Too far away from the shore.
I think, meet standards there.
Well, it's just area is wooded, it's minimal clearing.
And it's not
historic.
not visible from the main road.
Okay,
The standards have been met.
standards of the met. I is in conformance with this chapter or other, this chapter, other applicable local ordinances, state and federal laws, regulations, town comprehensive plan, development plan, or master land use plan, if any. Is it in conformance?
Complies with town, well, it's not in the town center. Yeah. Complies with the ordinance.
Sure,
And with the comprehensive.
meet standards. Okay, J, will not create an adverse fiscal impact upon the municipality's ability to provide or improve necessary public facilities or in services, including transportation and parking. I think that might be a non-applicable,
Or no impact.
no impact.
No.
Hey, will not alone or in conjunction with existing activities adversely affect the quality or quantity of groundwater.
No impact based on proposed use of property.
There you go.
Standards have been met.
L, will not unreasonably interfere with access to direct sunlight or solar. I don't see them blocking anybody's
No,
Not applicable.
stuff. M, will not adversely affect the quality of body of water or unreasonably affect the shoreline of that body of water wherever situated in whole or in part within 250 feet of any pond, lake, stream, or tidal waters.
Not applicable.
Well away from all those areas, right?
Yep.
All right, 45-20 flood hazard areas. Not in a flood hazard area.
No.
Okay, 45-21, financial and technical capacity, the applicant shall have adequate.
That's a separate, you're into the next.
No.
No, that's part of the criteria of approval.
That's part of the criteria.
Oh, that's not how I read, but go ahead.
But anyways.
Yeah.
Applicant, that's done, the developer shall have the developer shall have upon request the board submit. Not required, so we're good to go there. Yes?
yeah,
All right. Now that's gonna get printed up and all the people that are voting on it have to sign it.
You'll have to approve it at the next regular meeting,
Has to be approved, right? Yeah,
and then you'll all sign it.
and then we all sign it.
Anyone who votes for approval at the next meeting comes on that.
I'm sorry?
Anyone at the next meeting that votes for approval. has to
Somebody
sign it.
else.
Oh, okay, not the people here tonight, that's right. If somebody happens not to be here, then they happen not to be here.
Opposite M, I don't understand why we didn't put.
Okay,
But I think it's all under chapter 4.
anyways,
So
we can
did you
work
provide
on
a
that.
reason?
No, I,
We can look at
yeah, no,
that.
that's just on the side.
I think that's why it is.
So where are we at? We're at tabling for finalization of the standards of criteria.
And adding a condition, I guess I would have one condition, but maybe do that.
Do that,
Except for next one.
yeah. Yeah,
I'm sorry, there was a condition.
Yeah, it would just be about testing the water quality of the well.
Okay, there's no pump in the well. I'm not sure I'd get the water out of there, but,
Well, once it's,
Once
it'll be a condition of the permit, so
Okay.
it's. At some point you would hand it off to Dave once the house is, I guess, or.
why would we need that? I mean, we've got the well.
Yeah,
But,
Is it our responsibility to make sure it's drinkable?
no,
oh, we do, well,
No.
mobility, are you sure? Well, let's research.
Well, I can assure you that IAP will not give somebody non-potable. You just have to take my word on that.
Well, we research it, portability is an issue.
It's, criteria and standards B.
It's criterion standard B.
Yeah, the criteria of approval has sufficient quantity and quality of water.
Okay. All right. I'm on the wrong page. You backed her up. There you go. Okay. I table, what am I tabling? I table MD 02/23 for finalization of criteria of approval.
Second,
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Right,
Any opposed, say nay. Okay, thank you.
So at the next scheduled planning board meeting, there will be a vote to. Okay, and there's going to be the condition about potable water. All right, I just want to make sure I understand. And I need to get you depth and flow rates.
Yeah.
Is that all I need to
That's
do?
all you need to go, I guess.
Thank you for your
Attention to this issue. Thank
Good
you.
evening.
evening.
All right, new business. Is there anybody here representing Richard Pendleton, George Deptula?
No, there is not.
Nobody on screen? Okay, then I make a motion that we take the agenda out of order and move on to development review ordinance.
second,
And any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Right,
Any opposed, say nay. Development review, Islesboro Economic Sustainability Corporation, map 17, lot 23, application MD 03-23 to renovate, regrade, and improve the parking lot at Island Market. Anybody wanna, I've seen, I've seen this, anybody wanna lead off and give us a idea of Islesboro sustainability?
Sure. This is a proposal to improve the parking immediately to the north of the Island Market and to blacktop it. It makes no change to the location or the use of Boardman Road from what it is today. In fact, it improves the situation because by establishing a retaining wall and landscaping and these buried cobblestones, it actually delineates where Boardman Road is. There is some minor regrading of Boardman Road that needs to be done. If you look at an aerial photo or you walk the property now, there are several piles of gravel that are there. I guess Jack Leach put them there years ago, but those need to be removed when that retaining wall is put in. The result will be, we believe, substantially better parking situation for the Island Market. It does, to some extent, memorialize the layout that we've been using for the past 2 summers, but it eliminates the cheesy wooden barrels and no parking signs. Another point to be made for the purposes of the Boardman Road access is that we will put up extensive no parking signs to make sure that the in and out traffic on Boardman Road and for all the Boardman Road right-of-way holders is not adversely affected from what it is today. You can also see on the plan this spur that goes off to the top of the plan, that is Michael Boardman's driveway. That will also be taken care of in this plan. On the extreme north border, which is adjacent to Johnny Hossack's property, there will be parking on the gravel. And you notice that there is some landscaping to delineate that parking from Main Road. Likewise, that's the case down here near the gas pumps. And you see that we have added a handicapped ADA parking space just to the on the market side near the kitchen side of the market. That would allow us at some point to maybe put a ramp there for handicap access.
All right,
So this is the first time you've seen this. We're here to answer any questions and start the process with you guys of getting this approved.
From this wall that you have there along the Boardman Road,
Yes,
from that wall to property, what's the footage there?
I'm sorry.
Here to here.
Oh, well, it's a 25-foot right of way. And in addition, and then approximately 30 feet to the Hossack's.
So the length of that parking area, you have like 9 cars there or so.
Yeah,
You're saying that's 25 foot,
No,
30 feet.
30 feet,
30 feet?
yeah.
are you talking on the side facing Johnny Hossack's property?
Yes. Well, I'm around that island market a lot and I don't see that you have that much room myself.
Oh, what's deceiving is that currently there's a row of yew trees there.
So you could take all the trees out?
We're gonna replace
That's what it
those
says
trees
in
with
here, we're gonna take
something
it.
narrower. The lot line is actually a foot from Johnny's barn,
Right, I see.
so that's how it fits. And those yew trees will be replaced by a narrower screening so that Johnny has some property, privacy.
There's
along
the
that
barn
line.
right there. Okay, and then my next question is, you have all those cars parked like that. So if you have a truck with a trailer, some of them to park, you think they could fit in there?
Yeah, it will be marked so that a truck with a trailer would park along in there, yes.
So where's the market to be? Cause I don't see one on this print.
What,
Which one, what?
what he's asking is along this area right here, if everybody can see it,
Yeah.
Right.
along that.
Where
area
the trucks with trailers typically park
here.
now.
Right, but if I park my car right there, that track and trailer isn't gonna be able to get in.
Right,
Isn't that what you're saying?
Yes,
See if I get it?
yeah, I mean, I've been there before where they're parking in there. They're parking not like straight in like that, but like a 45-degree angle and it's still, to me, seems like a mess, but.
what's the issue with the trucks? You're saying, where would they park if they
They
pulled in there?
wouldn't, yeah, where would they be able to
Dump
park? I
trucks,
mean,
trucks
they
with trailers,
service
I pull in
them
with my
too.
lawnmower trailer,
Yeah.
you know, somebody pulls in with a lawnmower trailer, what have you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Some things that not taken away from that, not setting that aside, because that is an actual where people are gonna park, where are they gonna park? Something that I would like to find out and see, which I don't see, or maybe you can point it out to me. Where exactly is the property line? Because from what I understand from Dave, we need 15 feet from the property line to where the parking is gonna be.
correct.
Okay, and if you said that's 30 feet plus or minus
Yeah, I can
15,
check.
I don't.
Laura's on the phone. She can tell us exactly what that dimension is. Both
That-
parking-
Good evening, everybody. I'm sorry if there's any confusion. The nearest edge of the parking where the cobblestones are is 40 feet from the property line. So if you subtract 25 feet for that right of way, that leaves us between 15 and 20 feet from the face of the parking to the property line against Johnny Hossick. The least space, the least dimension is 15 feet, and it grows as you get closer to Bain Road.
The least dimension to the 25-foot right away.
No. From the right of way to the closest point of Johnny Hossick's property line is 40
Right.
feet. And
Okay.
as you go towards Main Road, the property line is at an angle, so that dimension actually grows from 40 feet to 44,
Yeah.
40 feet. So we have a minimum of 15 feet from the face of parking to Johnny Hossick's property line.
Okay.
So the
See
easternmost
that?
point of that parking is 15 feet from the property line.
Right.
That's correct. That's correct.
This one right here.
Yeah.
But the way you got it marked off here, isn't a car or a truck 20 foot long?
Yes.
Correct.
Yeah, those parking spaces are 20 feet long.
Yeah, I was incorrect, Gil, when I said that it was 30 feet. It's actually 40.
Right.
Parking.
Okay, but on the plot plan, for sure, we're gonna wanna see that 15 feet,
Okay,
all right? Also on the front of the property, from where the road is, what is the distance? I realize everything is already existing. It has been for a number of years. But what is the distance from the property line to the front of the building?
okay, yeah. I thought
If you're referring to the Island Market building,
Correct.
I believe it's 12 and a half feet as an existing condition.
Okay,
That'd be right at the gas pump.
to the property line, correct?
That's correct, to the right of way of the main road.
You know what the distance is to the edge of the road? Or the center of the road?
Yes, it's 25 feet to the center of the road. The road right of way is 50 feet.
Yeah.
So that would be, geez, I did the math. Why didn't it show up? Okay, hold on. I'm going back to my third grade math. Wait a minute.
As long as it's not the new math.
Yeah, I know.
Setbacks and
So I believe from the edge of the driveway itself, of the main road itself, which is a 25-foot road, I believe. It's 12 and a half feet from the edge of the roadway itself to the property line, and another 12 and a half feet to the face of the market building. So there's a total of 25 feet from the face of the market to the face of the road itself.
Right. Not, the only reason I'm asking, I would like to see these numbers on the
we can
plan
do that.
as setbacks.
Mhm.
I know that we've got these parking spaces that you're gonna have fuel parking only. And I know that we've been dealing with this for years, but I mean, you can't go through town with a pickup truck in the gas line. And without that pickup truck being stuck out into the road. And if somebody's got a trailer that has to get in there to get fuel, that's another issue altogether.
Well, if you see to the left of the leftmost fuel parking space, that area is also paved. It is actually part of the right of way of the road. And that will not be changed. That's going to remain paved. That can be marked. And there is always the possibility that a vehicle with a trailer can
Yeah.
park parallel in order to fuel. That's a rare occurrence. Certainly I have not observed that. I'm sure someone has. But if that is a rare occurrence, they can be guided into that position so that they're not sticking out into the main road.
The main thing is the dimensions that we're gonna need. This is just something in addition to and discussing. I have, when the when the garage was sitting there, before the stones got put in and the, planters and all that stuff, I could back my truck back my trailer between the Highland Market and the garage and still be off the road to get my fuel.
Mhm.
And maybe that's just me trying to do things without getting in everybody's way, but if there's,
Yeah, because you got the gas pumps on this print and the ice box in the wrong area because,
no, they're in the right area.
yeah, but it's even with the building. It's not one sticking up, cause that would, you'd be backing
Yeah,
right into
Yeah,
that
you're
one.
right. Yeah, you're right, but it's still in the right general area.
Yes, it is a graphic. I have to admit, I didn't measure the gas pump size, but we can certainly put that on.
It's just something we've been dealing with, and I think it's nothing, I'm not sure there's something that we can change either, so.
Those gas pumps can't be changed, period.
No, no.
No, those are where they are.
Keeping it just as fuel parking may be a step in the right direction anyways. So setbacks, that's
Yep,
the
yep.
big thing we're looking for is setbacks.
We'll make sure that's there. And the, location of the buildings on the property.
Right.
Okay,
Is the Island Market on its own lot, or is it
no,
No, it's all
the
one lot.
house?
yeah, it's all one lot with both the house and the market.
It is all one lot.
So when we have this site review, you can have all this marked and you're gonna have where all the parking lot is gonna be, the spaces and all that, because when I'm ever at the market, you have 9 parking spots there. I can never see 9 cars parked there.
That's because there's no marks at all on that gravel.
Right, but if you park a vehicle there, like I have numerous times, I don't see you putting 9 cars there.
Well, don't
if there-
forget that there's a space reserved for the current unloading that the
Yeah.
market vehicle has been using. And people have been respectful of that, and you can see the dotted lines between parking spaces 6 and 7, which represent where that truck typically parks,
Right,
and there are people maneuvering around it. So in reality, we currently are only using 5 parking spaces on the west side of the unloading zone. Once that is transitioned to the rear of the market, which is an element that's under construction now or soon to be, that frees up that whole rear of the parking area to be much more efficiently laid out.
I think if I might, the way to solve that is to show the dimension of the nine parking lots on the plan.
that'd be 90 feet if they're 10 feet.
Yeah.
Right,
We actually have
Show
90
it on the plan so that we know it fits.
10 by
Yep.
20, is it right there?
No, it's not on there.
yeah, that's a typical 10 by 20, so if you had 9 of them at 10 feet,
90 feet.
theoretically. At least when I was.
Is that a standard parking?
And we have always said 10-foot parking spaces, yeah.
Trucks keep getting bigger and bigger.
Well, that is one of the reasons we've provided the overflow parking on the north side of the Boardman Road right of way. And the question was asked previously about larger trucks, and typically they park parallel to the right of way, and there will be markings and guidance during the various seasons so that those trucks will have precedent to park in that location when needed. So it will be marked to provide guidance, and that will change from season to season. Obviously, in the summer season, when we have more vehicles, we may have to adjust the locations of the truck parking.
So why isn't it on our print?
Excuse me?
why isn't it on our print to show us how you're gonna do it?
I'll be happy to do an alternative sketch to show you the alternate season parking.
That'd be fine.
Okay,
I think just for your information, I have to check this, but being a designer, I think that the required space for a parking space is not 10 feet. It can be less than that, the standard in the United States.
Do we have anything?
I could research that. I have the information.
It's in the book. I can.
This book?
Yeah, the green one. Yeah, I can look it up.
actually, you are correct. The standard is 9 by 18, but we recognize that a lot of vehicles on the island are trucks. And so we've respected that and provided additional space for maneuverability.
Yeah, we understand. I'm just saying that you shouldn't limit yourself to a 10-foot parking space if in fact 9 feet is the standard. That gives us it gives you a little bit more room there to maneuver.
Well, it's worth consideration, but I leave that to the board's discretion.
4812 parking regulations. 248. Well. 348, well. I don't see any numbers yet for that. Dave thinks he can find it. So
Is that just in your book? It's not in our book.
that's in this book.
Okay.
And if you've got, I don't know if you've got all that, I'm not in that far.
What is it?
Hmm?
I don't think we did.
No, but what you have? Parking and
I've got 24812, or that's what I'm looking at. I don't know if you have that.
section 45 dash that was good. Felt review. We did under something else. Oh, that's a different ordinance.
Yeah, this is all
I
the
don't want to, we didn't want to mark that.
Where?
Actually, in our own ordinance, it says typical parking space approximately 10 feet wide and 20 feet long, and that's what they went by.
right.
And I'm simply pointing out that says approximately, so you could actually make it a little less than that if it made it more comfortable, that's all.
Okay.
Don't get us, we don't have to be in a box about this.
Okay.
Good point, it's in 125 that you're looking at.
Yeah.
I almost think, regardless of what the plan says about how many parking spaces, it just depends on what distance you have to work with, whether you can have that or not, so regardless of what the plan says. Anything, I know we have a butter, so Mike, you got anything you want to say or add, or?
Just about the necessity for the amount of parking. I think it's kind of unnecessary. Parking parking directly looking at the store, there's usually 4 employees' cars there. If you made a policy where they didn't, you'd open up more public parking,
So where would they park?
And there's no way you can have those vertical parking places going down that road there, because there's 3 trucks and trailers every day driving through there and parking there for lunch. I don't know how you make that happen.
Well, that's why,
Doing the tighten up that you're trying
that's why
to
that
do
was
here.
brought up, to find out if there's
Yeah,
a better.
those are
solution.
just my observations. I mean, it's already changed things in my life for sure. I mean, I have to police often. I have to wait for traffic to come in and out. And then get one of these, sorry, I'm trying to get home. Anyway. I'll be curious how this all ends up.
Well,
There will still be parking across the street. Nobody's taking that
across the
away, right?
street. across Main Road?
Yeah.
Church.
Church park over there, the church.
Yeah, but.
Post office to church.
That's,
Right.
that's, is that an official parking area for that, or is that, I mean, the church approves of all that, obviously, and so
That's a small town. We have
it's
to-
not exactly, it's not exactly
Approved.
labeled, it's not exactly labeled as Island Market parking.
No, no, of course not.
But
It's just
I know, but everybody does,
tradition.
I do it too.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I do. It's just tradition.
All right,
I have one question in terms of pedestrians, walking from the, whatever you want, the northern parking area up to the store. I was wondering, you're making them walk up to Main Road. I didn't know if you want to make a cut through on the barrier, the bollard wall.
Mean like a set of stairs or something?
Yeah, I don't know if that makes sense. And
where are you
people-
talking about? Were the people in the parking lot?
People on the north.
The Hossack side.
The
The
hot,
Hossack side, oh, okay, so they're gonna, what you're saying is they're gonna cross the, right away, Boardman Road right away.
Yes.
and Longview Road, yeah, I don't know, it's just something to consider that, we should be considering pedestrians.
I think it's depending, we don't have the dimensions, which we're gonna get our setbacks, I think you'll find that to walk along Main Road, you're gonna have to walk towards the road out of your way, and from a point A to point B kind of, direction.
Usually people like to go directly,
they go like
so if
point A
there
to
were
point B.
steps there, yeah, crawl.
I think you're gonna have to go out of your way to get out the main road, even without these setbacks that we're looking for.
Right. They'll be helpful.
So other than setbacks and idea about parking for the large vehicles, because I'm telling you, if it's the way it is right there, somebody's gonna park there so that a big truck's not gonna be able to park.
Yeah, I think that it doesn't make sense necessarily to mark those as parallel, or not parallel, as parking spaces, just leave that gravel.
That was
But-
part of the policing we had to do
Yeah.
to stop vertical parking that way with.
Yeah, but what's important is that we can mark the side, the edge of Boardman Road.
So, to mark
The
so
right,
the people aren't parking in that area,
right. That's the most important thing
Right.
for us.
that is.
And have that for truck parking.
Yeah, we can, we'll, because
On the-
historically, that's where all the trucks park, along
In the summer as well.
in the summer,
Right.
yeah.
Okay,
And there's no room in the current, parking where the cars are, it seems like there's a big space to back up into. Can we utilize that for additional parking?
It gets a little dicey
To-
to park
Yeah,
in there,
are you talking where the trash dumpster is and 9 and 8 are, not number 9 and 8, 9 are, where are you
no,
talking?
this area in here,
Ah,
yeah, if you walk up to the, up
You
there,
need
it's
that
just-
space.
You need that space
Back
for
up
people.
my truck in there and you'll see, you'll need all that
you need that
space.
space
Yeah, I
for people
think that
coming in and
kills
out.
I
Right.
have Prius.
you need
Ah,
a
your
lot
Prius,
Oh,
your Prius will pick it up and move it.
oh, that's Keep the trucks out.
So, you know that barrier you got all the way around with the rocks, so that means part of that back end gonna be built up? And you're still gonna be driving down that driveway, sort of?
yes,
Okay.
that's marked. There's an elevation somewhere.
Yeah,
Yep.
there is, but it's also on this plan right here, the last page, it's showing a slope of 3 to 4%.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's not much, it's 3
There's a
feet
little more-
to 2 feet 6.
There's about 5 to 6 feet of grade change between the physical parking space for the Island Market and the Boardman Road right-of-way, where the words Boardman Road right-of-way actually are shown on the plans.
right,
In the
So-
back, that is.
right.
That's the purpose of the retaining wall. the Boardman Road slopes downward at a much more rapid pitch than the actual parking spaces. So we wanted to make that a safe and protected area so that cars don't fly over the edge. You know, give them an actual termination to the parking field.
Yeah, you can see that on the grade, the proposed plan grading. You can see the elevation change from the blacktop down onto Boardman Road. And then out the back, behind the trash and the fuel tanks,
Right.
that's almost a 5-foot drop back there, which is true today. I mean, it's just not
Yeah. it's
well
not-
defined.
Right, it's just gonna all be fixed up.
But there isn't much of a change where it shows the parking exit, although I think we can also see that people have been using the just going directly out to Main Road, not using Boardman Road.
Not that it has any bearing on our decision. You talked about somebody talked about the employee parking kind of.
Yeah, we'll mark and talk to Sky about having the people park in the back.
Yeah, I mean, I was just wondering, behind the house is a cutout area that might be a great spot for that, but again, that doesn't have any bearing on what our decision would be.
Yeah, that's up to Sky and Mary Ann just to ask their people not to park in the customer parking lot, which they can certainly do.
Sure.
Good.
But that's totally up to them.
Right.
Where the exit is out of the south parking. Mike, were you saying people come out of that and don't see you coming out of your road?
No, coming into my road as they're exiting the store and I'm coming into the road, north or south.
Should there be a stop
Oh, no.
suggestion there?
No, just the policing aspect because of the condition of the way it is now. It's been confusing and unregulated and it has needed some policing where there's vertical vehicles parking where the trucks are.
And if they're gonna be turning one way or the other, they're gonna take up more road one way or the other just because there's no markings of road or.
Yeah, and it just deteriorated in there so much that you kind of got to round up or
Yeah,
to stay out of a pothole.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a parking rodeo for a couple of years.
oh, I know, but it's something that everybody in town's dealing with, right? And
Right.
including Mike, especially Mike,
Right.
you know,
It's always surprising to me that down in Dark Harbor near Billy's shop, people seem to park rationally.
they do.
Makes sense, yeah.
And I think they do here too. I think
This will help. This will help
Generally,
that a lot.
summer-
Define.
parking as it
Generally, I would
was, I
agree
mean,
with
I
that.
don't think parking is really as major as it seems, other than we need to service vehicles. They need a place to turn
Yeah.
and we need to have gas.
Yeah,
And we need to protect that little area, so we have gas and we have a store. I recognize all that, but we gotta
Sure,
bend
sure.
a little bit to make us all work, so.
yeah, I'm one, I don't like seeing cars sticking out in the road whenever I come through there and.
Yeah.
You know, and sometimes they don't have to be, they just lousy parking.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. What you see there, and sometimes people aren't very nice when you make comments to them about the fact that they're parked right in front of a no parking sign.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
I carry 16 penny nails for parking lot for handicap spot. I didn't say that. Don't record that. No, I know.
That's a great idea.
I didn't give it to you. You get people parking I'm not handicapped. I don't need that.
I had a person pull up actually onto the lawn, right in front of that no parking sign this summer,
On the lawn.
onto the lawn. They both,
Okay.
and I went out. and- What are you doing?
Okay, so the process will continue for the next couple meetings as we work through.
Yeah,
this.
what we're fixing to do is table this. But I wanna make sure we're tabling it for all the reasons we wanna table it for. Tabling it for Setbacks,
right? Location of the buildings,
correct, that's part of setbacks.
the correction of the gas pumps, the truck
I'm
parking.
not even, it wasn't, I really don't even care so much about the correction of the gas pumps as much as I care about distances.
Yeah, yeah. But things I wrote down.
Yeah, yeah,
The truck parking, we talked about handling that. Marking the size of the spaces, it does say 10 by 20 typically.
typical.
But we'll assure that. The employee parking, I'll send Sky an email.
The Sky's right up there listening.
Oh, say Sky?
Heard.
Okay.
It's gonna be a net change of one car.
Okay,
Because I always park off the pavement by the dumpster. And I'm not making Helen walk all the way around. So the only one who's moving is
good
my.
thought.
Yeah.
Respect.
Very good thought. And then, right now, you can walk through those,
Barriers,
those little,
the stones and the planters.
the planters, you can walk through there. And it should be easy for us to mark a place to walk through
Oh,
that
yeah,
landscaping.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you could even, if you needed to, go so far as stairs, but obviously,
I don't know if you actually need a stair, I'm not sure the grade.
the grade's that bad.
No.
Yeah, I don't think it's
Pretty much flat.
Yeah, I think it's pretty flat through there.
Yeah,
Was more, this is about delineating the Boardman Road right of way.
okay. So,
Well, one thing would be also helpful in terms of planting, what you are considering for the buffer.
Oh, the Johnny Hospital.
For Johnny Hospital, if it's plantings or fence or combination, whatever.
Thank you.
And if it's plant height, maybe. Oh, right.
good. Now, I heard you talk about a site review. You mentioned site review. Do we do a site review without this? Or do we do it, wait till we get this? and do the site
I would
review?
think you have to wait to get the
Gotta get the information, of the final
information
plan,
and then the
that's right,
site review.
Okay,
what they're gonna show finally.
Yeah.
So,
that's a deal.
I'm sorry,
That's a deal.
that's the deal. So we'll make the motion, unless anybody has anything other, we'll make the motion to table MD 03-23 or parking plan or a different parking plan, new parking plan. Setbacks and vegetation, is that what you said? Buffer vegetation?
Yeah.
Does that cover it? Does that cover your list?
Yes, it does. I have some other things that I want to talk to Laura about, but you didn't mention the gas tank, but that's easy correction.
Well, I think the gas pump or the gas tank?
The gas pump. Sorry. That's fine.
Yeah,
I'll second
discussion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay.
Thank you, guys. As always.
Now, everybody that's here for that can stick around for the finalization of everything else, or we can.
Do we have
farewell?
Do we have to have a meeting of the public?
We didn't, we're not done with that, are we?
Well, we haven't seen the final plan.
Yeah, we can do that next, with the other plans. Sure,
As we leave, thank you all. Sorry to interrupt.
thank you.
I couldn't find anything in the green book about the size of the parking space.
I'm sorry?
I couldn't find anything in the green book about the actual dimensions of the parking space,
Yeah.
so we'll just have to revert to state.
Well, yeah, but,
It, the only thing it says is you have to have 1.5 spaces per person or per unit in a multi-family dwelling.
Yeah,
So
It does say approximately 10 feet in our ordinance.
yeah, but
Chapter
125.
but it says approximately.
Yeah.
So you look at the standard, the architectural engineering standard, you
Yeah,
find it less than that.
that's not true in the ferry parking lot.
I don't imagine.
No, ferry parking lot is
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Barry.
Dave, it's in 125-49.
Okay.
That's the province.
Okay, I make a motion and we return to the agenda.
What you found?
I make a motion, we return to our agenda.
Second.
Any discussion? None heard, all in favor, say aye. Any opposed, say nay. Land use Richard Pendleton for George Diptula, map 30, lot 1, application LU 45-23 to remove existing section of house and build back with 210 square feet of new living space for the living room. This is an existing house.
You know, so they're putting it in the exact same spot.
Same spot, everything else, they're increasing it by 210 square feet.
Oh,
That's what it shows here, the new.
so the drawing here though, does that show the part of it that's gonna get torn down?
That is the part that's gonna be. That,
Oh, that says existing,
Yeah, that does exist.
and that's gonna disappear,
Right.
reappear. Okay, oh, I see, so it's whole section, right?
basically, he's making a bigger living room on the house.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Golf very well.
Nobody, we're not, we're not looking at Charlie and Storsky, whatever they are, Charlie is.
Well, that church turn road is straight off the main road.
Oh.
Curve at all.
We're not taking off for our.
No. Hope not, my goodness.
I think on the drawing I did was a crayon scratch, basically for the barn, but.
This guy's probably used to writing on 2x4s with stationaries.
Exactly. I am too.
So we don't have to worry about bathrooms or wells?
No bathrooms, no bedrooms.
Yeah,
Yeah. I don't,
It's a piece of cake.
the height is, within
Yep.
allowance.
yeah,
I would suggest that this doesn't even really need a site review on this.
No.
agreed.
I've always wanted to know what was down that driveway.
All right,
Well, you, seems how we have an application,
yes,
that gives you you can drive down there and
I
look if
can?
you'd like. Yes, they,
Thank you, Dave.
yes. When they apply for a permit, that implies consent.
Oh, so when they only have 5 or 6 cars driving.
Yeah.
don't go all at once, because that constitutes a meeting.
Yeah.
Right. We'll all be waiting out on the street.
So access from that house and from the main road?
It shows.
Yeah, cool.
Okay. All joking aside and going on in this, we need to discuss whether it is, complete, yeah. Do we, now, public hearing, we don't have to do that every single time, even on this, do we?
I think we're supposed to.
You think we're supposed to?
Yeah.
That's
Okay, well, I'm gonna go right off the bat and say, make a motion, public hearing is not required for
Second.
any discussion. None being heard, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. That one's out of the way. This is nothing we have to say a major minor? Or,
Somebody's like,
right,
Way minor.
This
so is the application complete?
I move application LU 45-23 is complete.
Second.
Any discussion? None being heard, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. Okay, complete. Next is what? Approval?
Oh, you're on the site review, are we gonna have?
Oh, yeah,
I move that we, that's the word I want,
forgo.
forego the site review.
I'll second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Right.
Any opposed, say nay. Now we go to approver. Okay,
Is it complete?
Yeah.
we already did complete, right?
Yeah.
I move the board approves application value 45-23.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. Okay. Like that. CEO report, we're not having one?
No,
right
thank-
now?
I've been a little busy this week.
Oh.
Come on.
People wishing to address the planning board, I'll open the floor to anybody that wants to address the planning board. I got Peter Wilcox and Maggie.
They don't want to
Or
talk.
it's a boring night at home, so hi.
Better, more boring for you.
Hey, really?
Hi, Maggie.
Hey.
All right, no correspondence. What was we gonna talk about? We're gonna take some time to talk about something, maybe that's in additional business, because the question was brought up about, public hearing. And I did some homework, and I studied about what public hearings might entail. And just as a reminder to everybody, including myself, at 45-16 in your development review section,
Yeah.
it talks about public hearings, and the board shall determine whether to hold a public hearing for minor subdivision application, major subdivision, preliminary plan application, major subdivision, basic stuff here. Okay, I'll go on where it says, the board shall base its decision to hold a public hearing on any of the following criteria. When a written request for a public hearing from an applicant or abutting property owners has been received by the board. They just can't raise their hand and say, hey, I want a public hearing. We have to have it in writing.
That's what my
Or it
impression
has to
was.
be applicant or an
Or a
abutter.
butter. Right?
Yep.
When the size, nature, location of proposed activity would have an unusual, potentially harmful or harmful impact on the neighborhood, the environment, or because health or safety problem, we could ask for a public hearing, we could, ask for a public hearing. And when the applicant is a member or an associate member of the planning board or a member of the board of selectmen. That's our criteria for public hearings.
So you could ask for one on the thing for safety if you wanted one.
Sure.
Have to do that next meeting.
We don't have to do it.
Right,
because we
but
have
I
the
mean, if
option.
you want, yeah, don't bother me. I can get through that parking lot.
Yeah, so I mean, I wanted to look it up, because we've sat here before and asked about public hearing, and we say nobody's come forward to say anything. Well, we need more than say something.
Yeah, good point. In the under 125-14, the public hearing, it's on our discretion.
Right,
So it's slightly different under 120. So a regular house. Is
Yeah.
good if somebody's like upset.
Yeah, private residences and things like that are different, have different criteria than a
Yeah.
commercial development.
right,
It's like I was telling Bill Rowe, you know, if this was just somebody wanting to expand their driveway or parking areas in their home,
it wouldn't even be.
they'd be
before.
coming to me for a permit to bring fill in. And that's it. But because it's because this is a commercial thing, they have to go through development review for this parking lot. Right. Deal.
Yeah. Okay. Committee reports.
We are having a meeting Wednesday to further discussing. And of course, I didn't bring my notes, but, one thing we're looking at is trying to figure out if there's ways to well, having the ordinance about, I maybe mentioned this last time, filling swimming pools and, fire suppression cisterns with water from off-site, off the island. And was there,
That was for the, water committee, safe water?
that was basically, but just generally the concern that maybe we should be thinking about that.
Having those two things need a permit first, right? And, saying no. Open geothermal
Oh, right,
system, which I didn't even know what they were.
I don't know what it is.
It actually pumps chemicals into the ground.
Well, you gotta drill a bunch of holes too.
Yeah. Cause that's why I was thinking geothermal was underground.
It
Yeah,
is,
it's
yeah.
underground.
But there's two different types, there's closed system and there's open system.
Well, it's just the chemicals they put in there
In the loop,
contain.
yeah.
Sounds yucky.
Expensive.
No
I bet.
idea.
I looked into it.
Okay.
So that's this Wednesday for all the excited people. For November.
Change time, 4:30.
Yeah.
I have no additional business, so if we would like to go home, or somebody like to make a motion.
So moved.
Gil can have it.
Thank you.
So
You can second it.
You'll second
I'll
it?
second it.
Discussion? None being heard, all in favor say aye. Any opposed say nay.
So you think, Roger, you'll be on Zoom for Wednesday?
No, I think I'll be back.
Good. So maybe two of you, three of you?